was a young male, somebody who could get into the house and get out in that neighborhood without being seen.
Someone who knew the victim or victims, knew the layout of the house, knew how to get entry into the house. There was no indication of forced entry. No.
I don't think it was two people, because the more people you had going into that house, the more likely it is that they were going to be seen. So I think it's one male, young enough to have been in that neighborhood.
He had to be somewhat confident that.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
Welcome to Reporter Room. My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist, and today I talk about Jeremy Reagan and masked doorbell camera guy. Are these two people related, or is this just another internet rumor? We're going to start with Jeremy Reagan. Jeremy Reagan is a neighbor. He lives near the house where Ethan, Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana were all done away with. And he has been making the rounds doing multiple interviews. And basically, now he's concerned because a lot of people who have watched his interviews are beginning to view him as a potential suspect. And to be fair, I don't think he's done himself any favors by doing the interviews, because many people are watching him and they feel like his affect is off, his smiling is inappropriate in places, and he's setting off alarm bells for a lot of people. We've also learned that Xana's dad allegedly worked on the locks at the King Road house. So we know that whoever entered the home didn't actually break in. So either the door was unlocked or this person knew the key code. And because the door was not opened with a key, it was opened with the key code, and apparently multiple people knew the code. This house was referred to as a party house. I'm going to talk about masked doorbell guy, and we're going to dig a little bit more into Jeremy Reagan in just a moment, so please stay with me. Everything I'm sharing with you today is my opinion, and opinions are not facts, so please don't send any negativity to anyone. Let's be kind and good to each other. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up so I know you were here. So it's been reported that there's a masked man, and here's his photo, who in weeks leading up to the murders went around in the area and he was ringing doorbells and trying door handles. This masked guy was captured on someone's doorbell cam while he was ringing their doorbell and trying their lock. This is really concerning because there would be no legitimate reason for someone to be at your door wearing a mask, ringing your doorbell, and trying to open your front door. In my opinion, his intentions were nefarious. We've also heard that the two roommates who survived heard what they believed to be someone or two people upstairs rummaging around, and that they allegedly locked their bedroom doors because apparently this was something that happened sometimes in this house. So why would someone be going around wearing a mask and trying people's locks? This behavior is stalkerish, it's creepy, and it fits the profile of the man who did away with Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee. If you look at the photo, it is clearly a young male, and profilers have told us that they believe that this perpetrator was a young male between the ages of 18 and 40. Listen to this profiler.
That's the biggest thing we found out over the weekend. We were wondering if it was a kitchen knife, a knife of opportunity found on location, but it appears to be, as if you will, like a hunting knife, a Rambo-style knife is what they're referring to. They are checking with local sporting goods stores to see if one was purchased lately, so far coming up dry. But that indicates that the person who did this brought the knife with them. They haven't found it. And the style of knife, again, reflects fantasy. This person has been thinking about doing a crime like this. They're interested in the process of stabbing. It's a very process-focused crime. And person who is obsessed with knives and bloodletting.
Police do have the doorbell camera footage, so I would think that this person would definitely be a person of interest. Police have also been tracking this person down, and they believe they know who this is. So was this the same guy who entered the house and committed these heinous acts? We also know that multiple profilers believe that these slayings were targeted and that this person was fixated on a particular target in the house. And we got confirmation because Xana's mom spoke out on Ashley Banfield and did confirm that Xana and Ethan were asleep on the second floor. And that's where he went first. He did away with them, but he didn't stop there. He continued upstairs to where Maddie and Kaylee were sleeping together. And this is why I believe that it was Kaylee probably, but possibly also could have been Maddie, were the targets. And we know that Maddie and Kaylee were sleeping in the same room because of the phone calls to Jack. Jim Clemente, a nationally renowned profiler, believes that the killer stopped once he found his target, and that's why the two roommates who were sleeping on the first floor bedrooms, in the two bedrooms on the first floor, thankfully were left alive. Now let's get back to Jeremy Reagan. We need to be careful because we don't want to target an innocent person, and I agree with you. He's odd. His affect seems bizarre, and I am confident that law enforcement will want to rule him out. Jeremy did state that he was contacted by law enforcement. Listen to this.
Earlier today actually was the first time. Before this, they hadn't interviewed me other than that first day, a couple hours after the news broke that there was a killing there. But up until earlier today, I had been contacted by the police. But then today, partly because of all the reports that people had sent in about me and the interview I did, as well as me going and talking with one of the local prosecutors about what I could do to clear my name, the officers came by my house today. They talked with me. They interviewed me. They didn't bring anything to collect DNA today, but they said, if we need you, will you come down to the station? I said, absolutely.
I don't think Jeremy Reagan has done himself any favors by giving out any interviews, but he was asked, and now he's told News Nation that he's being, quote, proactive, end quote, and he's going to the police station on Thursday to submit his DNA. I agree, his affect seems off and his smile does seem inappropriate at times.
Do it. I have nothing to hide. I'm willing to give DNA, fingerprints, whatever they need. But yeah, it's just upsetting being compared to a murderer when I didn't do anything.
And I agree. Like, even when he's saying that he is upset because he's being accused of doing things, his affect is he's smiling. So his words don't match up with his facial expression. He says he's upset, but his facial expression doesn't look upset. But I would just urge caution before we jump to any conclusions on this guy. I do think that the masked doorbell camera guy is a potential suspect in this case, and we are hearing that police have identified him. So do you think that this is the man who entered the residence to target Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and or Kaylee? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.